Hey there, welcome to my 18-week pregnancy update. I am 18 weeks pregnant this week with my third baby, and in this video I'm going to talk about how I'm feeling at this point in the pregnancy, what the symptoms are like, kind of what's going on in my life at this point, what I'm thinking. So thanks for watching and following along with this pregnancy journey. I hope you enjoy it. The first thing I want to talk about is pregnancy symptoms around 18 weeks. So I'm in the second trimester and I have gotten back some energy, but some of the first trimester symptoms that have gone away have been replaced by other things. So I have noticed that I'm more easily out of breath from like walking up the stairs or walking up a hill, or just, even standing up too fast, I'll get out of breath. So that's been something that I've noticed that is not normal for me and hasn't been a problem, but I am starting to gain more weight and show a little more, and so that balance has been kind of thrown off, and I have noticed myself moving a little slower, or if I'm having some kind of pain, I'm like, oh yeah, I am pregnant. So it's like I almost forget that I'm pregnant until something happens like that. So if I stand up too fast, I might pull a muscle where I'm like, okay, I need to take a break and take a breather for a minute. So that's a little weird at this point. I remember getting to that point in my earlier pregnancies, but it still kind of surprised me at this point in the second trimester. At 18 weeks, I'm almost halfway, almost to the 20-week mark, which is crazy to think about because in a way it's gone by pretty fast this time around with my third baby. And that's probably because I've been so busy keeping up with my older kiddos and with so much going on the past few months. So it does seem like it's kind of gone fast, and it just seems weird to be almost halfway, but in the same thought, I'm excited. I'm glad to be about halfway and to be moving forward, and that everything is going well. Really thankful for a healthy baby and to be pretty healthy. I did have a sinus infection a couple weeks ago that I talked about, and got over that thankfully, and kind of back to my normal energy, except for some, pregnancy symptoms like I'm talking about, except for, getting out of breath easily or having to stand up slower. Also, I've had to stop myself from lifting heavy things that I normally would, no problem. Of course, my toddlers are pretty heavy, so if I lift them, I'm like, oof. And so I just feel like I'm trying to take it easy on lifting things, and now with my kids, I'm like, how about you just hold my hand and we'll walk together instead of me picking you up and carrying you, because they're getting really big too. But things like picking up my guitar or a heavy box or something, I am intentionally asking for help with things that I might have just lifted myself before this point, before being pregnant again. So I am trying to ask for help in that and not strain myself too much. Talking about straining myself, I bruised my hand the other day opening a pickle jar. And I'm not super proud of that. It's nothing crazy. It wasn't like, hey, I was like running from a bear and this happened. I was just opening a jar and like bruised my hand. So anyway, I told my chiropractor about it and got it adjusted, and that has helped a little bit, and just kind of massaged it. But I'm just trying to be careful with anything that's kind of out of the ordinary. I don't know, that seemed ordinary to me to just open a jar, but going to a chiropractor every week has definitely helped because everything is shifting in my body and I'm constantly changing. And the one that I go to is great, lots of experience with dealing with pregnancy, and has a pregnancy pillow for your belly as it grows, and can modify things according to what's going on at each stage of pregnancy. So that has been really helpful and something that I've tried to be consistent about, and going like once a week just for maintaining and getting small adjustments as we go. I'm trying to think of other things that I've been doing maybe differently in the last couple of weeks. From like my last update was at 16 weeks. And here at 18 weeks, I feel like a lot has changed in the last couple weeks. I've had job transitions, and that has been, differences in my routine, and, just kind of affecting other things in my life. And so I feel like anytime you have a change in your routine or in your schedule. It's like you have to adjust and get used to that. So I feel like so many things are changing right now, and with my body and with pregnancy, sometimes I feel like I'm catching up. I'm like, okay, wait, what am I supposed to be doing? You know, and have to really think through more things instead of just going on autopilot. Like, this is what we do on Mondays and this is what I do on Tuesdays, you know. It's like, okay, well, what do I need to do now? And so I've been reevaluating, rethinking some things, setting up new routines and structures, and honestly, that's kind of exhausting. So I'm trying to take naps when I can and trying to get plenty of sleep, drink enough water. I did have a midwife appointment last week, and she checked on the baby. Everything's looking good. We got to hear the heartbeat, and baby's heartbeat was strong at 150. It sounded like thump, 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 and it was so sweet to hear the baby's heartbeat and just know that baby's doing good. I was a little dehydrated at that point, and so I've been trying to drink more water and stay hydrated. I'm using electrolyte powder in my water usually once or twice a day to help keep that hydration. I'm definitely still taking my prenatal vitamins almost every day. There's been a couple days that I missed and I didn't realize that I skipped it, but pretty much every single day taking my prenatals and making sure that that's part of my routine, and trying to keep my nutrition up. So having good healthy snacks around and stocking up on things that are easy to grab that I can eat on the go with my busy toddlers around. So just trying to be intentional about that. But I did have a breakdown this past week where I just like cried, and I was frustrated and overwhelmed at, you know, just thinking about a lot of things. And then I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but one little thing can happen that just kind of piles up with everything else, and then that's the breaking point. And that's what happened to me last week. Was all this other stuff was going on in my mind, and I was just going and going and pushing myself. And then I think somebody said, you know, don't forget to take care of yourself, or don't forget to do something for yourself. And in that moment, my thought was, that feels like something else to do. It feels like one more thing to do to take care of myself. And you know what? That's not healthy. That's not good. And so I tried to catch myself and think, okay, let's calm down. I need to breathe. I need to take a break, go for a walk, take a nap, something to just kind of get my head right, because I do get to those points where I'm like, you know, frustrated or overwhelmed, and I have to think, what is it that pushed me to this point, you know, it breaking down and crying or getting frustrated like that. And so when I got to that point, I thought, yeah, that's not a healthy way of thinking. Like, oh, it's more work to do, it's one more thing to add to my list. And I know that taking care of myself is really important to keep taking care of my kiddos and to keep this growing baby healthy. And so I try to keep that in perspective. And that's also a sign to me to ask for help. So I was like looking into asking for help at different things, and it feels kind of weird to ask somebody to do something simple like that should be easy, but I've been trying to think of things that don't have to be done by me, so I can focus on the things that do have to be done by me, because I have limited energy at this point. It's not like I can just stay up late at night after the babies are gone to bed to do other projects and things. I have to be doing things during the day with them because I need to sleep at night because I'm really tired. So it is kind of frustrating having limited energy at the same time as high energy toddlers. But like I said, I'm trying to put in new routines and new things in place and reach out to people before I'm desperate and be like, hey, can you help me out with this? Or can we do this? Or even modifying plans. Like, for instance, I was talking with a mom friend about doing a play date and like doing this big day trip. And that sounded fun. It's been something I wanted to do for a while. But then I kind of backtracked and I was like, you know what? I don't think I have enough energy to do all that. So I was like, what if we just do a really low-key play date and just like snacks and play outside? And she said, yeah, that sounds awesome. So that's what we did. So I'm trying to kind of like lower my expectations on what I can physically do, because in my mind I'm like, oh, I can do it all, but I also know that I can't do it all. So that's kind of where I'm at this week. But also just looking forward to the new baby. I think that helps me, because when I'm like, oh, I just feel so pregnant and I just like feel so tired, that can be difficult. But if I think, you know what, I'm growing this little human, I'm growing this baby, and it's gonna be amazing, I try to think towards that, and it seems to help. I had some comments this week. I asked people what their questions were about pregnancy right now, and several people asked me about the gender. They said, are you gonna find out the gender of the baby? Do you know the gender of the baby? And we're waiting to find out. So it's going to be a surprise for us. We have a little girl and a little boy, so it's gonna be fun to have a surprise and find out when they're born who it is. So that's still the plan, and I'm excited about it. I feel good about it. My husband's been fine. I wanted to find out with each one of the first two kids, and I feel at this point, since we've had one of each, we're ready either way. And I kind of go back and forth. I'm like, oh, what if it's a girl? That would be so sweet. And I'm like, but what if it's a little boy? That would be precious, you know? So I'm really happy either way, but looking forward to the surprise of that. My little girl will come up to me and say, Mom, let's watch water birth videos. Because I've always wanted to do a water birth, and it has not happened for my first two labors. My first one was too long, and then my second one was too fast. And so like it didn't time out either way to really do a water birth. So maybe third time's a charm and I'll get a water birth this time. We'll see. But I'm trying to think towards like the birth and prepping for the new baby. I did buy some baby clothes. I mean, we have girl clothes and boy clothes, but I got some little newborn outfits that are just for this baby, and just couldn't resist. Newborn clothes are just super cute. Another thing that I've done in the last couple of weeks is I had ordered some maternity clothes, and I'm pretty much switched over to all maternity clothes. Everything is stretchy, comfy, and with the growing belly, I just need something that's going to accommodate that and not be tight, not be difficult to breathe in, because I need to breathe. So I am pretty much in maternity clothes. I got some from Old Navy. I found some, I think, on Zulily. I got some from a few different places. So I'm thinking about doing a video about kind of my favorite maternity clothes, or like my staples, or the things that I find myself wearing over and over that are just really comfortable and versatile to switch in and out and mix and match. So be looking for that. I also did a video last week about gift ideas for moms, for new moms, and so I think that might be helpful for people that aren't sure what to shop for but want to do something for the moms who are having a new baby, because it is such a big transition when you're having a new little kiddo in your life, and just having someone do something either unexpected or just very intentional and thoughtful can definitely make someone's day. I know that has helped me when my mom or a friend will bring over a care package and they bring me like flowers or chocolate, or they're like, hey, I thought of you and I picked this up from the store. Like little gifts like that for the mom do make a big difference. So if you haven't watched that video, go check it out. It's gift ideas for new moms. And I will be sharing some more tips and products that have helped me or that I like in the future videos. Let me know in the comments what questions you have about this pregnancy and what you'd like to know, and I'll see you in the next video.